peppered with flak in the skies over wartime Europe, limping home on a wing and a prayer, and then a change of heart, a mystery that would remain unsolved for decades. W5's Susan Ormiston has a Remembrance Day story you won't soon forget.
Charlie Brown is one lucky man. Flying American bombers in World War II, he could have been another casualty for the 379th Bomb Group.
It's a very beautiful memorial. Quite proud to have been a part of it.
Charlie's life was spared by an enemy. He was Franz Stigler, once an ace flyer, now at 82, mostly grounded.
Here, once in a while, I take the controls on it.
Do you miss it?
Very much so.
A lot?
A lot.
During the war, Stigler was on the other side, but in 1953 he left Germany and settled in British Columbia.
So this is your room of honors down here, is it?
Yeah.
He was no average flyer. Stigler was an ace fighter for the German Luftwaffe. At 12, he was flying gliders. By the time war broke out, he was instructing fighter pilots. His combat record, at least 28 enemy aircraft shot down over North Africa and Europe.
Now, what are these here, Franz?
Some of my medals here.
Wow.
This one's for 400 combat missions.
He flew nearly 500 missions, actually, but his most honorable, the time he let the Yankee get away.
This one here, I got because I didn't shoot Charlie down.
A post-war peace medal awarded by England because he didn't shoot Charlie down.
That's the only one I'm allowed to wear.
The remarkable story began 5 days before Christmas in 1943. Franz Stigler was a veteran fighter pilot and Charlie Brown on his first mission as commander of a B-17 bomber.
You were a rookie pilot.
Rookie beyond belief.
He even lied about his age. He was 21, but said he was 25 just to impress his crew. Their B-17 was named Ye Olde Pub, part of a 500-bomber formation headed for an airplane factory in Bremen, Germany. They anticipated a dogfight. 250 of Germany's best flak gunners and maybe 500 German fighters.
Once you start on that bomb run, you never divert, you never do anything.
Straight as an arrow.
Just straight to give the lead aircraft time to set up. And that's when the flak is at its most severe.
Ye Olde Pub got hit, her nose blown away. She lost 2 engines, 8 guns, and most of the communications. Still, Charlie and his crew got the bombs off.
And I could not stay in formation even without the bombs. And so the formation just pulled off and left us.
Left by yourself, orphaned.
That's when the Germans showed up.
This time, it was the Luftwaffe's turn to take a bite out of Ye Olde Pub.
I do remember being inverted and looking up at the ground. And the next thing I know, I'm pulling up over trees.
That day, in the same battle, Franz Stigler was doing damage in his Messerschmitt 109.
I shot 2 down in the same day, and then I landed to refuel and rearm.
From the ground, he spotted Charlie Brown's crippled bomber.
So I went after him, looked at the flying wreck and sized him up and figured out how to finish it off.
Had you ever seen a bomber so badly damaged?
Not flying.
Not flying.
Not flying.
So I'm sitting in the cockpit alone, and I look out, and there's the world's worst nightmare sitting on my right wing. I closed my eyes, and I opened them again, and he was still there.
Did you try to shoot at him?
No, I wasn't stupid enough to try to shoot at him.
Why not?
At this point, we're totally helpless.
Shot full of holes, guns frozen up, and a badly wounded crew.
I had one that couldn't walk, one that couldn't use his hands, and one with the leg blown off, and one dead.
Franz had an easy mark. He zeroed in from the rear, expecting to face the tail gunner.
And I saw him lying in there, bleeding profusely, so I couldn't shoot.
You couldn't?
No. If I wouldn't have seen him, it was different. If I wouldn't have seen a person at all, I would have shot.
They're the enemy.
When you shoot at airplane, you don't think of people in there. You see the airplane, nothing else. The plane, that bombs your cities or your factories or whatever. But in this case, as I saw this tail gunner, just couldn't do it.
Instead, he tried to get the B-17 to surrender over Germany, but no response. So he escorted the bomber out over the North Sea and pointed towards Sweden a half-hour away. But Charlie Brown had other ideas.
I said, I'm going to try to make England. Well, just about that time, he gave a wave salute and left.
Did you tell anybody about what happened?
No.
Why not?
Well, I didn't want to look in the firing squad.
You would have been court-martialed?
Yes.
For what?
Not doing my job.
Ye Old Pub made it back to England, a miracle itself, and Charlie Brown had an amazing story to tell, but the higher-ups didn't want to listen.
All aspects of our mission was classified secret.
Why?
Otherwise, we have to mention a German pilot.
So someone decided that it wasn't good PR to show that a German had a heart.
That's right.
Did you ever think of him again?
I always wondered all these years what happened.
The story stays buried for over 40 years until Brown begins a search. Who was that Luftwaffe pilot who let him go?
I tried the American records, of course, absolutely nothing. I had served 3.5 years with the Royal Air Force. They tried to help me. They had absolutely nothing. Nobody had ever heard of a chivalrous German pilot.
After 3 years, a break. A German pilot's newsletter published his article.
All of a sudden, I get this letter from Canada, Surrey, British Columbia. He had markings on my airplane, stuff that I had not put in the article.
They talked by phone, then finally met. Two former enemies, now friends.
Did he thank you?
I don't say he thanked me, just hugged me, and that's it.
He almost broke my ribs. He gave me a big bear hug and whatnot.
Now barely a year goes by without a reunion. This year it's in Savannah, Georgia, at the newly opened 8th Air Force Museum. It stirs the memories.
Well, what was your favorite tail gunner?
Did you get in trouble with some tail gunners, Franz?
Quite often.
Oh.
This one is for my tail gunner.
Tail
this
gunner.
one.
Now-
I had one in the lake too for my tail gunner.
Franz, where's your plane?
That one up there, that was my airplane. I lost 17 of them.
Now, did you guys fear the Messerschmitt?
We respected him very much.
So the fact that Franz shot down colleagues, friends,
That was his job.
family, that doesn't bother you?
No, that was his job. That day, I killed a man who had 70 victories in the Soviet Union. He had a pregnant wife that arrived on the base while he's airborne that day. These things you put in the back and you lock.
Did he ask you why you didn't shoot him down?
No, he didn't. Not then, no. Sometimes I wonder why I didn't.
He's become a pain in the neck, has he?
Yeah, really.
There's no plane like the 17.
Put any vets together and the stories fly. But this fall, at the reunion of Charlie's 379th Bomb Group, one war tale stood out.
Charlie, would you like to come up here and escort Franz Stigler to the microphone here? This certificate has been presented to L. Franz Stigler in appreciation of his compassion and chivalrous action. Franz, it sort of leaves me wordless, almost. It could not happen to a nicer gentleman.